Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Taryn Williams, and then for this video, I'm going to be doing something I've been planning on doing for a while. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you a retrospective video of my cooking show, The Menu. So to give you a little backstory, The Menu started November 2015, so it's been almost 4 years ago that I started The Menu, and that's been the backbone of my YouTube channel, Digital Chef ENT. So for this video, I'm actually going to be looking at the very first episode of The Menu, and then the season finale of season 2, excuse me, which is actually the final episode of The Menu so far until I start season 3 later on in 2019. So sit back, relax. Thank you again so much for clicking on this video. I'm going to take you through a very brief journey of my cooking show, The Menu. So first, I'm going to take you all the way back to the good old year of 2015. We're going to look at the very first episode of The Menu. I'm just going to talk about a couple of points here and there. Then we're going to fast forward, bring it to 2019. We're going to talk about the season 2 finale of The Menu. So, before we get into the rest of the episode, let's talk about the intro. So, the intro to The Menu actually stays the same throughout the course of all 20 episodes. So what the intro actually is, you reckon now, is actually a bunch of food pictures I've done throughout the years. So it's all like some of my favorite pictures up until 2015 that I just kind of put together, and I actually turned them into a GIF. So I found a GIF creator online, I forget how many images it is, probably like 15, 20 images maybe. Put them together, it made them a GIF, and then on the website you can kind of change the speed and how fast it goes and things like that. And so that's how I kind of created the initial video. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool, that works. And so after that, I needed like something else. So I created the beat. The beat was actually made in Windows Music Maker. So it's all from scratch. It's all like all their instruments and things like that they have in that app. And just kind of played around with it till I got to that beat, which is now the iconic theme of The Menu. And then the last part is just the actual menu picture. I was doing some research. I found just kind of a very simple clip art of a plate, fork, and a spoon, and I just added the text, The Menu, in the middle of the circle. Just something really simple, nothing really fancy, and I think it just works. And I think even to this day, it still kind of fits the menu, because I didn't really know what the menu was going to be at that time in 2015 when I started the channel, but it just kind of fits. It's very simple. You see it, you get it, it's legible, you understand what it means and what it stands for. So just kind of the breakdown of the intro. So now we're going to get into the actual episode of The Menu, and we're going to break down certain points here and there, certain like camera angles, why I did certain things and things like that. So let's continue. Welcome to the first episode of The Menu. I'm Taryn Williams. This is just going to be a little web series I'm doing. We're going to see how long it goes. We'll see how it works out. So the whole goal is to learn a little bit about what I'm cooking beforehand, which is what I'm going to be calling the origin story. Then we're going to get into the cooking. So sit back, relax. You're going to see me talking for a few minutes, then we'll get into the cooking. So stay right there, and we'll see what's on the menu. The infamous low camera angle. So when I started The Menu, I had so I bought a little desktop tripod. So even let's kind of go back to the initial process of The Menu. I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have my lapel mics. And I was trying to figure out, okay, how the hell am I going to do a cooking show? And so I ended up going to Amazon, bought the little desktop tripod, which is what I use. The lapel mics, as you see, which are the exact same lapel mics I use in every single episode of The Menu, so those haven't gone anywhere. And I didn't realize how short my lapel mic or my tripod was. Excuse me. And I was like, damn, like, how am I going to get this angle? Because I need at least my chest and my head. I need at least that. So I have a bunch of books. I stacked a ton of books on top of the table, and I put the tripod on top of that, and then that's how you get that angle. I was like, you know what, it works. Screw it. It'll be fine for this episode. The lighting is horrible. I'm not even sure what I used to light myself. I'm pretty sure it was just the flash of the camera. Like, it's nothing else, really, seriously. And yeah, so that's kind of the initial shot. And then, as you see, when we get to the season finale of season 2, everything looks completely different. I have a tripod. The lighting's a lot better. It's a lot crisper. This is the very first episode of The Menu, so I can kind of go back and be like, why did I do this? Why did I do that? I should have thought about it more. But in the long run, I learned so much from it. And then, I progressively got better throughout all the other episodes of the menu, which is what you want. You want growth in the end. So this is very infamous to me. It's just funny because like the first episode of the menu is still one of the best viewed videos on my YouTube channel because I was promoting it like crazy. I actually was writing for a website for a little while, so it got a lot of views and promotion through that. And so yeah, but just kind of going back through time, and it's just kind of funny seeing myself from almost 4 years ago. Like, I haven't changed that much, but just in terms of the menu, it was the starting point. And then when we get to the season finale, season 2, we'll see how much I really grew, not just as a video creator, but as a videographer, and just as with camera angles, lighting, just like as a light guy and a cameraman, and just how I improved my skill set. So we're going to go into a little bit more in depth of this episode of the menu. So now we get to look at the very first edition of the origin story for the menu, which has its flaws as well. So omelet has had a bunch of spelling changes. According to WorldCentral.com, our current spelling omelet doesn't look like its Latin source word lamina, which means a thin plate. The Romans formed lamelle, meaning a small, thin metal plate. Then this word was borrowed into early French as la lamelle, literally meaning the blade of a sword or knife. During its history in French, the word changed in spelling to lamelle and amulet, and then to almet. Almet took on the added meaning of beaten eggs fried until set without stirring, probably because of the thin flat shape. Almet became almilet, and finally omelet in modern French. In the 17th century, the word was taken into English both as omelet and in the shorter form, omelet. The origin story, my brainchild. I actually really like the origin story, and then I've talked about this on Facebook and Twitter. The whole reason of the origin story as a part of the menu is because I'm a huge comic book fan, which if you know me, that's not a surprise. Because every hero, every villain has an origin story, so this is kind of me throwing a little comic book nod into my cooking show. That's just kind of what the origin story, that's where it came from. That's the whole idea behind it, it was just a nod to comics in my own way. And so the original origin story, what I did was which I still have it, my food dictionary. This was called. I bought it like a long time. I bought it in like high school, I think. And I just kept it throughout college, and I just have it. I still have it now. It's somewhere in my room. Actually, I know where it is now that I think about it. But it was just good. Just a lot of good stuff, a lot of good information. Just a really good book. And when I started the menu, I was like, oh, I have this book. Let me see if it actually has some information that I need. And then I knew the first episode of the menu was going to be an omelet. I make omelets all the time. I thought an omelet would be a great place to start. Nothing super, complex or really hard. Something basic. I can just do it really quickly. I can do a basic cheese omelet and kind of call it a day. And that was the game plan. And so I was reading, so I'm looking for the information. And so what I actually did was I would write the information into a notepad. So I have the book open, write into a notepad. Then I would record me reading off of my notepad. And then it worked for a little while, but I ended up, or actually when we get to where I started doing In the Insight, which is another completely different series on my YouTube channel, I would flip the page of the paper and you could hear the page, you could hear me turning pages in the mic. And so I stopped that. So now when I write scripts, I write them on my phone. I read off my phone because you can't hear it. But this is before I even knew this. This is like, 3.5 years ago. So that wasn't a thing yet. So, and I only had like one piece of paper, so it wasn't a problem. So yeah, I'm reading off a piece of paper. I'm reading all these words, and it was okay. I still like it. The menu, or as you know, the origin story hasn't changed. Really, it stays pretty much intact for the most part. But it has evolved since then. And one of the reasons why it changed was like me and my uncle, we were talking. He was like, "Yeah, I like it, but I can tell you're reading. You can tell I'm reading off a piece of paper, and it doesn't have the same flow as the rest of the menu." Because, spoiler alert, the menu I don't have a script for. It's all off the top of my head. It's all basically a freestyle for the most part. I don't know what I'm going to say for each episode. I have general ideas for the most part, but I don't know what I'm going to say for like majority of it. And most of them are also first takes. There might be some second takes here and there, but for the most part, it's one take. Like, it's I've been really good at that. It is not something I try to do, but it just kind of has naturally progressed into being very fluid and very easy to do. And then this episode of the menu is the only episode of the menu I had to retake apart, where I actually had to redo a certain part, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But yeah, so the origin story has changed and evolved, and of course, if you watch all the recent episodes of the menu, you know how it's changed and evolved. But I'll talk about that when I get to, the next video, which is the season 2 finale, and we can kind of see my growth as a whole as the menu it started to get its own identity. It was one of the cooler things too about it, where now the menu has its identity. Before I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, what works, and now it has a flow where if you click on the episode in the menu, you understand the parts, you understand what you're gonna get here and there, you understand how it flows, and people actually like the origin story. People are like, hey, like I actually learned something, and that was also one of the reasons why I enjoyed the origin story, because I like history. History is one of my favorite subjects in school. I know some of you are like, boo, but I actually really enjoyed history. I don't know, something about dates, it's something about history, it's something about it. And I like learning about the food that I make, so adding that into my cooking, and then to my cooking show is really special. I remember some people, you don't really get that from a cooking show. You just get the food and that's that. You don't really get this concept, oh man, that's where it came from, or I never would have thought about that. Oh, that's kind of cool. So it's just me adding my little flavor, my personality into my cooking show. So we're gonna continue on through this journey through the first episode of the menu. I'm probably gonna skip the ingredients part, and we're probably gonna get into like maybe that camera angle part, just so I can kind of talk about that. So we're probably gonna skip ahead a little bit, and we'll get to the little camera angle snafu I was talking about earlier. So let's continue. We're gonna do a very straightforward omelet. We have some Marble Jack cheese, courtesy of Dutch Farms. Dutch Farms is really good cheese. If you haven't used their product, why haven't you? So I've been just letting my skillet heat up. This isn't actually an omelet skillet. An omelet skillet is a little bit thinner, I believe. But it's one of our better skillets, and it also heats up really quickly, so I'm going to have to be careful with my omelet. I think it's into my omelet. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese. It smells really good. And sprinkle a little bit more cheese. Fire is a real thing. And I'm going to take it over here. And there we have it. Rewatching that just literally made my head hurt. So actually I just kind of clipped together a couple of pieces of like some things I really wanted to discuss, and just how I really improved, and some things that just legit made my head hurt rewatching it. I haven't watched it in a while. So if you think about shaky camera, cause I didn't have the tripod, so I actually was recording this episode of the menu with the camera in my hand, which is why it's shaking. And I was using Windows Movie Maker. They have like an anti-shake feature to try to cut that out, or try to minimize it. It kind of helped, but not really. And then just like watching it now, it's just like it could have been so much better. So you have the shaky camera angle. You have the vent above the stove on, so you can't really hear me talk. So you have this extra vent in. You have that. You hear the clanking of the glass bowl, because I didn't. Because actually when I did it, I had like a little TV tray next to me, and so I was trying to hold the camera. So when I make the omelet, I'm holding the camera in my right hand, and I'm putting ingredients with my left hand, which is really talented. Which I think I'm a beast for that. But just in terms of actual production, you can see the camera angle kind of move away. You don't see the omelet in some spots, and it's just like and then the last part of me moving, that's actually the part I actually reshot. Is the last part of me kind of putting the omelet on the or on the plate, and then putting it on the table. That's the scene I actually completely reshot, because when I first did it, I was walking back and forth, and me playing with the camera. It was just, I don't know. I was just trying to do stuff. I thought I was being funny and creative and whatever, and I honestly don't know what the hell I was doing, to be completely honest with you right now. But yeah, that's actually one of the few scenes I completely reshot for the menu. And yeah, so it's a much better product. This video is a much better product than the first one I did, but every other video is just much better products, as a whole, because of just me learning better angles and getting slightly better equipment. And it didn't take a whole lot. I still even the first episodes of the menu, I'm recording with my camera phone, and even to this day, I'm still recording with my camera phone. So that hasn't changed, but just my production value has gone up. And so that's just so that's where we're gonna end it. So that's kind of the first episode of the menu. You can go back and watch the whole episode if you would like. Definitely check it out and really kind of see what I'm talking about. You probably go, yeah, that's not the greatest, and yeah. But now we're gonna get into the season 2 finale, which is the very last episode of the episode 20. So there's been 19 videos between the first one and this next one. So we're going to see just how much I improved. I can always get better. I'm always going to get better. But we're going to just see how much I really improved. So let's check out the next episode. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Menu. Actually, this is not just a brand new episode of The Menu. This is going to be the season finale of season 2 of The Menu. So that's it. This will actually be 20 episodes of The Menu going all the way back to 2015. I'm very excited. I'm very blessed. I can't explain to you all how happy I am to get 20 episodes. Because if you follow me on social media, I've kind of documented my experiences that when I started out doing the YouTube channel, I wasn't sure how long it was going to be, how many episodes, if it would be here, if it would be there. I wasn't 100% sure if I would keep doing it, but 111 subscribers later, 3 years later, 20 episodes into the menu, and almost 100 total videos on the YouTube channel, we have made it to this point. And I couldn't have done it without you all watching and liking and sharing and commenting and just showing me how much you've been enjoying the videos as much as I have enjoyed making them. So thank you so much for the bottom of my heart. I won't be standing here too long, so we get into this episode, which I'm also excited about. Because I've never made strawberry shortcake, but I found a pretty simple recipe I'm going to be using. So I'm excited to get to that. So thank you all again so much for being on this journey with me. Not just with the menu, but with side dish, with the insight, with all my playthroughs, with my quick looks, and everything that's going to be happening on the channel. And just like last year for the season finale of season 1 of the menu, so the menu will be going on a hiatus, just like last year. So we're in the beginning of April. So season 3 of the menu probably won't start back until about July, August, September. Probably more of the August, September range. Just so I can kind of focus on some other things on the channel and get season 3 prepared for you guys. But don't worry, just because the menu's going away, you can always check out the entirety of the series right here on Digital Chef ENT. But also, just like in life, when you have a void, something will fill that void. So I have some other things working in the meantime. In the Insight is up and running. I was kind of behind a couple episodes, but that's going to be full steam ahead. You're going to get a bunch of those recently. I started my Yakuza Kiwami playthrough, so if you've been enjoying that, that will keep going. I still have Bound for Glory. I couldn't think of the name for a second, but Bound for Glory, which is going to be just me commentating on some of my ranked games for Brawlhalla. That's still on the docket. I just have to edit that and cut that up, and that'll be ready to go. Also, one of the prizes I'm really excited for is SDGW, which is Slicing Dicing Gaming Wrestling, which will be my take on a wrestling promotion and a wrestling show. So I will be doing color commentary as AKA Scooter McCoy. So that's my alias. That's my commentating alias. So that'll be dropping in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited about that. That's almost done. That's about 90% done. I just have to edit one more part and then do all the voiceover work for it. And then that'll be ready to go, hopefully by the end of April. And I also want to start a new cooking show, or just not really a cooking show. Oh yeah, it's still a cooking show. So it's going to be called The Lab, which would be just kind of my test kitchen show, which would just be me just trying out different ingredients, different seasonings, doing things a little bit different than I normally do. Because the menu is pretty straightforward. It has a very formal presentation. Side just has a very formal presentation. But I want this to be a little more laid back. There'll probably be like music in the background playing slowly. It'll be kind of more of a culinary podcast, if you will. Where I'll just take an idea and just kind of throw it out there, just what I'm thinking. And then it'll be more for you guys to more than welcome to comment and tell me what you guys think about that, or what you guys would do differently, or how you guys might season something, or cook something, or cut something, or saute it, or however you might approach what I'm doing. It'll be a little bit more open to that, because just kind of get more commentating, or just get more comments and commentating, and just kind of let the community talk a little more, like what you guys think, how you guys would approach this. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully that'll be in the next couple of weeks as well. But thank you again for, just the journey and following me and helping me along this journey, because I can't do this journey by myself. Like I said before, I can't watch my own videos. I can, but only to a certain extent. But you guys make the videos what they are. You guys give them life. You guys give them their YouTube rate and their searchability, all those things. So I can't do that without you all. So thank you so much for watching the last 19 episodes of The Menu, and we're going to get into episode 20, the season finale of season 2. So just like always, sit back, relax. Let's check out the season 2 finale of The Menu.
Boy, check out that boy beard. Man, that beard came a long way. I don't care what nobody say. I'm joking. It's not even about the beard, but that's a nice beard. So that's actually the intro to episode 20, the season 2 finale. As you can tell, it looks completely different than the omelet episode. I mean, the camera angle, the lighting, I look a little older. but it's just amazing. Just some little changes, because so one of the things that I do use, I bought video lights, and you can't see them, but you can kind of see the effects of them, because it looks so good. And I started using Open Camera on my phone, which is a camera app, which is really good too. Just a lot of little things that just make it so much better, and just you can see like the quality of it is just completely different, and I've learned so much just in terms of watching YouTube videos and kind of talking to my uncle, who's a photographer, and just having him look at stuff and like, hey, does this look too orange? Is this too blue? Is this too cool? Is this too hot? Like, am I too lit on this? Do I need to bring just kind of, and always being critical of myself and just talking about it. In this video I'm doing right now, which, you're watching, I hope you're enjoying it. First of all, I hope you're definitely enjoying this video. It's actually a lot of fun kind of going back and talking about everything and just kind of what I went through, just the process of it. But yeah, I think this is actually a really cool intro, and also I talk a lot longer. Season finales, I tend to talk a little bit longer. If you notice, like if you watch the season 1 finale, I talk a little bit longer. Actually, I don't. If you go back and watch the season 1 finale, I actually get a little choked up because I didn't know what I was gonna do. I wasn't 100% sure, like, would this work? Would this be successful? Like, or anything. But I'm at 114 subscribers as of me making this video. The channel just cracked 4,500 views as a whole for the past 3.5 years, just about. So it's just been a blessing. It's been a process, and it's been just so much fun. And I think this is probably one of the better intros I've done just as a whole. And there's also like the little things I added, like you hear like the hand claps. I actually added the hand claps, I think either episode 3 or episode 4 of season 1 of The Menu. I kind of just something like, so there's like an audience, so there's a little bit of ambiance. Just so it has life. So that's kind of the intro. So now we're going to get into the new origin story. It actually started a little bit later in season 1, and I just kind of kept it going because I kind of like how the origin story flows now. So we're going to get into that. And, just kind of sit back. I hope you've been enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying like the process and the stories and some of the laughs here and there as I kind of take you through memory lane of The Menu. So I'll be right back. Stay tuned. So as you can tell, there is a big change to the origin story. So the origin story still has key components intact, which is the history of what I'm making, and I do the research and I kind of put it. But the biggest difference to the origin story, as you can probably tell off the get-go, is there's music. So yeah, I actually became a big fan of like chill hop, lofi hop music within the past couple of years. It's really relaxing. It's really cool to, if you're studying to it or just kind of chilling at home when I'm editing or doing other stuff. I like listening to chill hop music. And so I actually found out you can actually become like a chill hop, I forget what the word is, but they don't necessarily sponsor you, but you can become like a verified creator with Chilled Hop. That's what it is. And you just go there, you sign up, you say, hey, you just kind of fill out the little form, and they actually approve you. They send you like a link that has some free music on it, and then of course you can just go to their Bandcamp and buy music, and you can put it on your videos as long as you put like of course the music, the artist, and you put Chill Hop Records in the description. You're good to go, so they won't like copyright it or anything like that, which is pretty cool, which is really nice. And I've been doing that. I've been like a verified. I was doing it because I liked it for a while. I've actually been verified for about maybe 6 months. I think I did it in like the early part of December. So yeah, probably about 5.5 months. Probably I've been a verified member of Chill Hop Records, or verified content creator for Chill Hop, which is really cool. And then that's basically the origin story. And the origin story, it's changed a little bit over the years. But what I actually started doing, as you can tell in this video specifically, was I just find the history, I copy and paste it, I make a Word document, or I do like a blank JPEG, the white JPEG, add the text. So it's really clear, because I was having issues when I just take stuff from websites. The font can change, it can get blurry, you can't understand it, you can't read it. And I was just like, okay, I need to figure out a way so people can read it, so it's clear and legible. So I just started, if I just copy the text, put it on a white background, and just make it a very visible font, people can read it at all times. And that's something I started doing. And I think this is actually the first video, or the second video I actually did it. It seemed to work really well. I think people can read it, you can get the basis of it, and it works. So that's just kind of the updated version of the origin story. So no longer do you hear me talk during the origin story. You get the history, but you also get music, which I think the music really flows a lot better. It keeps the tempo going. So after you see me talk with the intro, you get some music, you get some history, then the music fades out and you get into the actual cooking. So I think it's a nice bridge between intro and when I actually start talking about the ingredients and cooking. So we're going to get into, I think because there's not that much of a difference. Maybe some of the camera angles, I'll probably just do like a quick camera angle for you, so you can kind of see how the angle has changed a little bit, how the lighting has really affected the food and the process and stuff like that. And then I did add a part to the menu. I'll do that part too. I'll kind of talk about the part that I recently added to the menu as well. But now a lot has changed. There's more of angles, and just it's cleaner and it's more visually appealing. So as we kind of keep going through the menu, so we're going to get into some more of the visually appealing pieces that I added to the menu.
Alright, so let's get into making our dough for our strawberry shortcake. So this recipe is actually really simple. It's actually from Bisquick, so shout out to Bisquick. It was funny because I found the recipe on All Recipes. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I went to the store looking for the Bisquick batter, and I thought it was Bisquick biscuit mix or something like that. I just misread it, but it's just Bisquick's pancake and baking mix, and actually on the side of the box it says how to make strawberry shortcake. So I'm like, oh, I found the right thing. So first what you're actually going to do is you're going to slice up some strawberries, mix them with a 1/4 cup of sugar in a small mixing bowl, and put them off to the side. I've already done that, so mine are just in the refrigerator cooling, and we'll get to those towards the end of the strawberry shortcake. So after you've done that, now we're going to make our batter. So you have 2 1/3 cups of the Bisquick baking mix in a mixing bowl. You add 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1/2 cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and then I'm just going to add a couple of other ingredients that I like. So I'm actually going to add a capful of butter extract, and a capful of vanilla extract. I had to make sure it was vanilla, it wasn't pineapple, because that would be a problem. Or maybe not. Maybe pineapple strawberry shortcakes could be a thing. And then we're just going to mix this together.
So one of the things I started doing differently when it comes to actually like presenting the ingredients and doing the prep and everything is I don't stand behind the camera anymore. So before, you can't tell, like there's no way you can really tell it, because before I was standing directly behind the tripod in the camera, but now I stand off to the left of it. It gives me more space. I can use my arms a little bit more, and then the camera stays steady. Every now and then you might notice a jar, like the screen shakes like for like a half second, and I might have hit it by mistake. But for the most part, I've gotten pretty good at standing off to the side, because I realized, hey, I don't have to be behind the camera to actually do it. I can actually stand off a little bit. My lapel mic has a little bit of leeway in it, so I can actually stand to the side as long as I position the camera where the camera stays in place, so it gets the food. I can stand off to the side and do what I need to do. So that's something I actually started doing. And then one of the things I started adding into the when I started doing the ingredients is I actually would just put, there's text that says all the ingredients and the measurements and everything, which I thought would be nice. Just a nice visual effect for people, so people can kind of see it. Just a little something else. I actually cut out the part of me explaining every ingredient, because I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense for me to explain the ingredients, and I put the ingredients, and I have to use the ingredients anyway for the recipe. So I just kind of cut that out. It just saves 30-40 seconds or whatever. Makes it a little bit better. But yeah, so that's basically what I did. Just kind of aesthetically, the lighting's a lot different, as you can tell, because the lights are kind of bracketing me. So I have one on each side, so I get so you kind of sculpt the image, so you have lights hitting it from two different angles, and it's just really nice. It's really bright. You can see it. The camera angle is really tight. You can kind of see what I'm doing a lot better. So it's just all around more aesthetically pleasing and more visually pleasing for you, the audience. Watching it and enjoying it and trying to. Either you're just watching the recipe for fun, or you're trying to make the recipe on your own time. So it just kind of gives you a little bit better representation of what I'm doing. And so next, I'm actually going to show you the new addition to the menu, which I added for the past 2 episodes. That a lot of my friends on Facebook like, hey, you should do this. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If it works, I'll add it. But a lot of people seem to like it. A lot of people seem to like the thought process of it. And it's actually me explaining my presentation, which is something I never really did, because I didn't really think anyone really cared. So I just kind of jumped from cooking to the plating. But some of my friends like, hey, maybe you should explain your presentation. It might help people in the long run. Just kind of your thought process and what you're thinking and how you do things. So I figured, you know what? That makes sense. So we're gonna actually explain the presentation part to the menu, and then we're gonna wrap up this video really soon. So I hope you've been enjoying it. Thank you so much for clicking on it. Of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Check out the actual full episode of the menu, all of them, all 20 of them. This is back. I forget how long it is. The playlist tells me how long it is. It's like a couple of hours. It's like a day or something. Like, it's insane. But yeah, so I'm gonna explain the newest addition to the menu, which is actually the presentation segment. Since you guys asked me to do plating for the last episode of the menu, I figured I would keep that going, and I would actually do a little plating segment for this one as well. So you see I had my dessert plate, and so I have my finished shortcake, so I'm just going to take one right there. I actually already cut it in half, as you can tell. Not the best cut in the world, but yeah. So I'm put it like that. And so what I'm thinking is putting strawberries at the bottom, whipped cream, strawberries at the top. I'll take my strawberries that we put the sugar on before we made the batter. This is the strawberry mixture that you'll have. And the shortcake is going to break and crumble anyway, so don't worry about it if it's not perfect. I think the more irregular, the better. I'm going to take some whipped cream. A few more strawberries to put on top. And then kind of smash it like that. Let's turn it so like that. And then of course you're going to kind of clean up the plate a little bit. Then take another strawberry. Take one of my bigger ones that I had and drop it right there. And then, of course, top it off with a little powdered sugar. There we go. I think it looks good. So the last part of this retrospective video of the menu will be the newest addition to the menu, which is the presentation segment. And just like what I just explained, people were just saying like maybe you should do presentations. Just kind of help people along. Maybe people have some ideas that they want to do, or maybe they just want to see your thought process and how do I present. I never really thought about it, honestly. I just kind of do some stuff and just kind of see what works. But yeah, people were just like, hey, maybe you should do it just so it gives people ideas and kind of inspire people. Like, you know what, sure, I'll do it. So this is the newest edition of the menu, so I'll do it for all. So every episode of season 3 will definitely have a presentation segment, and it's not that much to it. And I just kind of explain like the cuts, why I cut the way I cut, the way I set things up, the way I set things up, why I add different pieces, and it was just a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty cool. So that's just kind of the last piece to the menu. So I really want to thank you so much for sitting down and watching this episode of, well, not this episode of the menu, this retrospective of the menu. It's been a lot of fun doing this video and just kind of sitting back and reminiscing and taking the trip down memory lane. And it's just kind of interesting because you think about how far you come when you sit down and you actually look at old products and old videos and old content and just really see how far you come. It's just a blessing, and it's all about the journey. We get so caught up in the end. We want to get to the end. We want to get to the destination so much that we skip out on the journey. Realize the end doesn't matter as much if the journey, isn't as hard or isn't as intensive or there isn't as much adversity. If we got right to the end, it wouldn't matter as much. But, the journey and all the trials and tribulations and everything that you go through is what make the final destination because you earned it and you worked for it. And you have to run through some walls and climb some mountains, and maybe you have to climb another mountain after you climb the mountain, and it's hard and it's tough, but this has been a lot of fun to do. Thank you so much. Thank you for sitting down, clicking on this video, watching it. Definitely give it a thumb up. Definitely share it with people if you're interested. Definitely check out the rest of the menu if you're interested in cooking, or you can check out Indie Insight, which is my video series dedicated to indie games on Steam, because I play on my computer, so they're on Steam actually. But definitely check out if you're a gamer, if you're a cook. If you like, I have a couple of shoe unboxings, something a little different. Maybe you're in the shoes. You can definitely check those out. Or share the channel. Definitely check out the website, www.SlicingDicingGaming.com, for everything Digital Chef. I have my food blog, The Pantry, that goes up 1 o'clock every Sunday. So you want a little bit more food in your life. If you're not tired of looking at my content, definitely go over there and check out The Pantry as well. It's very quick. It's very brief. It's about a page worth of content of The Pantry. They drop every Sunday 1 p.m. just so you know. There's also Digital Chef merchandise. If you want to grab a shirt or a hoodie, support, you can just hit me up on Twitter and say, hey, I like your content and appreciate it, or just comment on this video and say, hey, you know what, this is a really long video, and if you sit through almost 40 minutes of this video, it's probably gonna be 40 by the time I finish talking. It's probably gonna be about 40 minutes. But if you definitely like this video, definitely comment, say, hey, you enjoyed it, you want to see more of these. Maybe I'll do some retrospectives for some of my personal favorite games and things like that. But thank you so much from sitting down and watching and clicking from the bottom of my heart. I can't do this without you. The channel doesn't exist without you. So thank you once again. And, just thank you so much for supporting and remembering the motto, slicing, dicing, gaming. It's not just a motto. It's a lifestyle. Again, I am Taryn Williams, and I will see you all in the very next video. Later. Have a blessed one.